Today, I wanted to discuss the importance of a light player and also how I believe to correctly play and not only help your team at being a better light player, but
Nice,
for you
dude,
to be one too.
nice. Oh, that's fucking awesome.
Alrighty, let's waste no time and get right to it. Before we go over a light player, I wanted to show you what I mainly see people use and the issues within them versus what and how I use them differently. First, we have the XP54 with the specialization of cloaking device. The cloaking device ability really allows a light player to become up close and personal without the enemy seeing you run towards them. With gadgets such as the stun gun, it becomes easier for someone with cloaking device to run up to them, stunning the enemy, causing them to hit fire, lose movement speed, and the loss of gadget abilities for less than 5 seconds makes trying to kill an enemy or assist your team killing them much more easier. The next gadget to talk about with the light class is the glitch grenade, which is a very useful gadget for breaking up defensive team builds and heavies especially. With this gadget, just like the stun, it causes an enemy affected to lose the ability to use their gadgets. For instance, in this clip, the first grenade I throw is a glitch grenade, which caused the heavy by the cash out to not be able to turn and shield his teammates trying to live longer. Instead, I'm able to push and throw more grenades and clean up the team. The last and final gadget I often see others use is, surprisingly, the frag grenade, which is capable of dealing up to 149 damage directly. But, as you can tell in this clip, it's capable of doing much more. You can blow up other people's explosives and utility, and it really makes it viable to stop heavies with nukes if you're able to get a grenade in
One more,
before they
it's kind of below.
detonate it.
It is below.
Now, for the reserves, typically I don't actually switch things out too often, so the only thing I really truly recommend would be a breach charge in case you wanted to maybe do a light nuke, or what I would prefer to do with it is to drop a cache out below the floor to stall more time. Alright, now I'll show you my class. And you'll notice that there's actually not too much of a difference, honestly. The main difference is the weapon and specialization. All the gadgets are the same, as I think they're still very viable and very good. If anything, it's what highlights a light player. I think them using their abilities is much more important than when it comes to getting frags or having an impact. To me, a light player gets their impact through their abilities and gadgets. And I'd really like to highlight a difference here with gameplay styles. You know, a light player with the XP is most likely going to try and get up close and personal. It's going to be a little bit more difficult nowadays with how good players have become, and it makes it harder to really step in and step out with the invisibility and how recon is. This is before the 1.6 update, before recon is nerfed, but the meta between light players having to feel like they're supposed to do the most damage or get the most kills, or even to get into a fight first, in my mindset, is just wrong. A light player's ability is not only to make an impact on helping your team eliminate another team, but your job is more so like a support role, in my eyes. You want to be able to get in, get some damage, and still be able to get out safely. You want to make sure you have high ground and pushing enemy teams and making them really hesitate and read the side how they want to approach things, especially with the LH1. It's a gun that can deal a lot of damage, especially to the mediums, which is very difficult to do quick as a light player. Someone with a recon F car is just going to turn the corner and shoot 5 bullets to your head and you'd be dead. So it is more difficult for sure. But that's why I want to highlight the differences with this class and what you can do. As you can see with the LH1, you have a lot more range, and not only just range, but there's no damage drop-off range. As with the XP, someone from 20 meters away, you'll almost feel like you're just putting salt and pepper on them. You're not really doing damage. You might get a heavy to half HP if you're lucky on a good day. But with the LH1, it only takes about 4 headshots and they're 1 HP. So it's a real game changer and something to open people's eyes when it comes to playing a light. You definitely are within a term more so of a glass cannon. As a good friend Appa has once stated, it is something that you need to be quick. You need to be able to get your shots in and move around safely. Okay, now in some of these clips, I'm gonna explain kind of some of the thought process behind the actions that happened and kind of help guide into a better way for a light player and how they're supposed to think about approaching things. For instance, like in this clip, I hear the guy with recon on my left before he starts shooting.
Where are they?
Try to
Oh,
create some type of damage before getting into a one-on-one fight, especially if it's a medium, because it's very difficult to actually one-on-one if you're not getting damage first or creating some type of flank or open opportunity. So here I get a few shots, make sure I get the stun out, get away, then I come back in and then get the kill, creating the space and creating the damage.
Why can't I jump over this? What's happening? The stupid fucking mine.
Okay, so for this clip, I really want to highlight an importance for an LH1 Light player. Having rooftops is always key. High ground is always key, especially for maps like Skyway or Monaco or even Las Vegas. You are able to implement a lot of damage and cause mediums to have to truly fight or leave for rooftops. The best way for me on this map is always taking high ground, being quick, and to make sure you get your gadgets out. So for this one, I made sure I got the heavy low, made the distance to get away from the medium, dashed away, back in, and then I want to get back on top and use my stun gun to finish it off. And making sure that my abilities and gadgets were used to its fullest.
The other one just found a res. Yeah, I'll go first too.
Okay, so within this clip, I'm not going to actually talk about the clip, but the issue that I find most common within lights, and that's just simply dying too quick and not being able to get your impact or get your gadgets out. And honestly, my thoughts on it are that the class really does require you to think differently and to kind of work around the edges more so instead of being up close or in their face type of way. You really need to just be outside the box and make those openings from a side angle or something. You have to think differently for it. It's not as simple as just running in and getting a kill or whatsoever. It's about being on the outskirts, getting in your little damage that you can, making sure you use your utility, and getting your gadgets out to be able to create the space and opening for your team. It's not necessarily about you getting the damage, but helping your team be able to do more damage. To finish things off, I wanted to say this, that the light class in the finals is a class that is too often described as useless, too weak, or just simply unplayable. While some people may struggle to win or get kills and be successful with light, I tend to rather think the class is the opposite towards what others often describe light as. I believe the light class has a completely versatile kit that allows you to play rather up close or from afar. With the meta in the game and how things currently are, whether it's a medium with recon or a heavy with a nuke, the game has become more and more difficult to have a light player, especially with the up-close approach that most light players enjoy, or at least would expect with a class that's supposed to be evasive and be capable of putting out high damage. To keep in mind though, this video is made for more competitive aspect people. for the finals. The statements that have been made are not directed towards the casual players, but those who enjoy light but struggle at higher stages or ranks of this game. There are still other loadouts and styles that can be completely viable. Just as anything else, it takes time and practice. The more skill that is put into a playstyle and your gadgets and weapon, the more viable and better the class is going to be. I don't think light is completely out yet, it's just making it that much harder to be good at. So hopefully with this video and different mindset or aspect to playing the game, I hope your mindset for a light player could change, and hey, maybe try it out yourself and see how you do. If there's any topics or video ideas, please leave them in the comments below. If you do try the class out, let me know what you think. Thank you for watching my video, and I'll see you in the next one.